Hey, what is going on, guys? It is Online here. Welcome back to another video, guys. And with 2016 pretty much being over and 2017 starting for a new year, and with the fact that I've already pretty much beat all the games that I really cared to beat this year, I figured it's time to go over my top 5 favorite games of 2016. Now, going into this, you know, it's going to be a lot different from the other lists, so don't be surprised if you don't see some of your favorite games on here. And that's the beauty of YouTube. You can comment down below your list. And yeah, so before going into the list, I want to say that honorable mentions go to Overwatch, Doom, Titanfall 2, and Battlefield 1. And Last Guardian, actually. Yeah. So, with this video, it's going to be a lot different from my top 10 most upcoming games, because in that video, I gave you guys like a quick rundown in 30 seconds. But in this video, I want to talk about the games because, you know, well, that's what I do here. You're not going to be hearing a 30-second blurb in this video. I'm going to be trying to go in-depth for the most part on these games and why I enjoyed them. So yeah, without further ado, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my top 5 favorite games of 2016. And let's get started. When creating this list, Ratchet & Clank was one of the few games that immediately came to my mind, and that is because of the sheer amount of fun in this game, and it's ultimately the reason why this game is as praised as it is, and the reason why it's on this list in general. And we haven't had a Ratchet & Clank this good since the PS3 days with Tools of Destruction, so it's really nice to see that Insomniac Games is going back to the traditional style of Ratchet & Clank, and ultimately when you start this game up, you can immediately tell why this game is where it is right now in terms of praising. This is one of the few hidden gems of 2016, and ultimately on the PS4 in general. I can't say enough good things about this game, and I find it really hard to flaw this game and give it any cons, despite maybe some minor issues with the game. And ultimately, guys, if you guys are looking to screw around and just have a bunch of fun on a video game, Ratchet & Clank is probably the game I'd recommend you the most, just because of the sheer amount of weapons and gadgets at your disposal that really makes each combat fight unique from the last. At the end of the day, I can't really say enough good things about Ratchet & Clank. It just left a really good impression on me and made me feel like I was a kid again back in the PS2/PS3 days. And man, a lot of games don't do that these days, so it's really nice to see a game do that. And that's why Ratchet & Clank comes in and starts off the list at number 5. Inside is probably the most perfect game on this list. This game drops you in this intense world, and you really have to adapt to your surroundings. You learn the rules fast, and your journey has just begun. Inside is probably the most perfect game I played of this year, because simply, the game's pacing is amazing. There's no tacked on levels in Inside. Everything that's in the game is supposed to be there. The game's length is only 3 hours long, but for 20 bucks, your experience is well worth the price. Playing as this little boy, I don't want to go too much into the story because honestly, I want you guys to experience it for yourself. There's a reason why this game is the only indie game going against a bunch of the AAA games that came out this year. Playdead's Inside is really something special, and honestly, the gameplay is satisfying, the story is amazing, the ending is WTF, I don't even want to get into that, but honestly, I like Ratchet & Clank, this game ultimately has like really no flaws for me at all. The game's puzzles are organic, and the pacing of the puzzles as well are great, not leaving you there stuck for too long, but still letting your head scratch a little bit to figure it out. And these puzzles are not like something where you have to complete the puzzle. These are just, obstacles to get around your world and environment and ultimately to continue on your journey. That probably sounds really weird saying that out loud, but honestly, when you guys play the game, you'll probably really understand what I'm saying. Without going into it anymore, all I want to leave you guys is with just the message of, if you guys are looking for a satisfying game and a game with a great story, honestly, I think Inside is the best game for you. Coming in at 20 bucks, and I know it was on sale like a couple weeks ago for only 10. This game has no dialogue and makes you feel for the boy more than you do for most AAA games with voice acting and everything, so that says a lot just based on the movement and just based on the gameplay itself. Inside, honestly, it's really hard to describe the experience you get from the game into words, but all I can say is I really want you guys to experience this for yourself, and that's why it comes in at number 4. Objectively speaking, it's probably the most perfect game on this list, and yeah, so check out Inside, it's great. So going down the list to the top 3, these games are really going to be my niche games, and it's no surprise that I love The Mirror's Edge on PS3. In fact, it was one of my favorite games of the PS3 generation as a whole, so it's no surprise, again, that I love The Mirror's Edge Catalyst this year. This game, in my opinion, took everything from 1, and for the most part, they improved it quite a bit, and Again, a lot of people find flaws with this game, and I do agree there are flaws with this game, but for the personal experience I had with this game, it was just great jumping back into the world of Faith, and just seeing how much more, I guess, story-driven this game a little bit is. I mean, you could see each plot twist coming from a mile away, but ultimately, at the end of the day, this platforming in the game was improved quite a bit, adding new gadgets as well. The side missions in general were very repetitive, but ultimately it was still a challenge to me and kept me coming back to this game even months after it was already out. To me personally, Mirror's Edge was something that I've been wanting on the PS4 for a while, and that was more of like a first-person parkour game, pretty much Mirror's Edge what it was. And I'm so glad that they decided to make Catalyst, and ultimately I hope EA comes back to this franchise again on the PS5, but only time will tell. I had a blast playing Mirror's Edge. I think I got this game around E3 time, and I just remember the week before E3 came out, I was just playing this game for hours upon hours, just listening to E3 prediction videos, while just gaining so many hours on this game, and the game I got out of this, I was not disappointed really at all. Other than that, guys, Mirror's Edge was a blast to play through this year, and I hope you guys give it a chance. So Mirror's Edge comes in at number 3. Watch Dogs 2 was probably the biggest surprise to me of 2016. If I had to pick one game that I had the most fun with this year, I'd say that Watch Dogs 2 is easily the game I had the most fun with this year, and that's quite a big surprise for a lot of people. I gotta, stay true to what I, actually liked this year, and to be honest, I had the most fun playing Watch Dogs 2 this year. So, the story was way better than the first one. This game makes you care about these characters a lot more than they did in the first one, because I know Aiden Pierce was probably like the worst protagonist in any video game ever, and I can say for certain that Marcus Holloway is way more likable, way more personality driven than Aiden Pierce was in the first one, and that immediately already is a big improvement from the first one. But not only that, they improved the driving, they improved the parkour in this game, which was pretty much non-existent in the first one, and the game feels much more, I guess, GTA-ish like it's a good combination between Watch Dogs 1 and GTA 5. I know Watch Dogs 2 felt really grounded and, you really couldn't do anything there, but Watch Dogs 2, there's definitely a lot more verticality being in San Francisco, which is actually my home area. I live in the Bay Area here, so it's really cool to see them reenact my whole, city, and for the most part, they got it pretty down, like, on, not, I wouldn't say on scale, obviously, but they definitely did a great job with Watch Dogs 2 with the location. They added 2 new gadgets in the game as well. One is like a quadcopter, and another one's kind of like this little RC car thing, and man, the game was a blast to play, not only with the main story, but they had a great ton of side missions that actually felt, worthy of, story-like missions. Like, the side missions there, I would definitely not overpass, and they gain a lot more hours onto your playtime if you actually go into them, and I suggest you do, because the side missions are really cool, and they're really intriguing. And at the end of the day, we also have the great online hacking invasions from the first one, which is probably one of the best multiplayer games of this generation for me. I really loved hacking people in Watch Dogs 1, and I could say for certain that it's even better in 2. Co-op was really good in this game. I remember playing with my friends on Watch Dogs, just driving around Bay Area, and then also just doing a bunch of co-op missions as well. So honestly, guys, if you want a fun game to dive in a bunch of games starting this year off, and you want to get, completely intrigued in the game, I'd recommend buying Watch Dogs 2. I know it won't be for everybody, but it was definitely my favorite fun game of this year, I'd say. My game of the year for 2016 is...
I am a man of fortune, and I must seek my fortune.
Hell yeah.
Uncharted 4 Thief's End is my game of the year for 2016. I remember May 6th of 2006, I bought an early copy of Uncharted 4 Thief's End, and I remember it coming in that Friday day, and I waited all the way up until the nighttime so I could have some peace and quiet to join in on this final adventure one last time, and all I can remember is the first 5 hours of the game had me completely hooked. I'm not one to play a game for long periods of time, especially one game only, but only a few games can do that for me, and they're really games that, keep me completely hooked. And Uncharted 4 was one of those special games. I remember that first night I played the game, I got up to Scotland where, the Henry Avery Grave, spoiler alert, I mean, you're watching the video, what are you doing? But yeah, the Henry Avery Grave, I got there all in one playthrough that night. I believe it was from like 10:30 at night to like 2:30 in the morning or something like that. yeah, it was pretty insane that night that I played Uncharted 4 Thief's End, and that was probably like one of my favorite nights I've played a game ever, because just the story was completely intriguing, and just staying up late at night and just seeing the story, which we don't get many nowadays. It's all about the open world, how many missions you can, so I feel like it's a lot more quantity in gaming around now instead of that quality. And I still feel like in Naughty Dog, they're like the best developer in the world to really show what quality can be. And man, the story, they're the best at combining story and gameplay, and to me that hooks me on completely. Uncharted 4 Thief's End definitely did have its flaws, and the pacing was a little bit iffy in certain chapters, but ultimately the ride in general and overall the game was definitely one to be worthy in the Uncharted franchise, and it was a great send-off of the Uncharted series, leaving it open still, but also having a defined ending if they choose to end it there, which I think they've already stated that. And at least for Naughty Dog themselves, this was the final chapter of Uncharted, and honestly, I know a lot of people say this, but really looking back at it, I don't know how else they would have ended it. I think it was perfectly fine. A lot of people find it disappointing, but it was still my favorite game of this year by far, and honestly, I didn't have many complaints with it besides the multiplayer. What else can I say? It was a lot different of an Uncharted, that's for sure, but I accept that, and I love the game for what it was, and I still come back to it here and now. Not really much anymore, but I'm completely stoked to see what they have for Uncharted The Lost Legacy, and ultimately, it was an experience that I probably won't ever forget in like next years and years and years to come. So, Uncharted 4 Thief's End is my game of the year of 2016. So, with my list being out there, guys, what does your list look like? I know my list is not going to look like most people's, and that's probably going to be true for your list as well. So, let me know what your guys' list consists of in the comments down below. Did you guys actually have games like Battlefield 1, Titanfall 2, Last Guardian in your list? Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And yeah, guys, I have been online. Make sure to give me your list in the comments down below, and we can start a discussion from there. But anyways, guys, I've been online. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace out.